There's a channel of water between Staten Island and New Jersey where dozens of old ships have been rotting for decades, creating one of the largest boat graveyards on the East Coast. This is the Arthur Kill, and the story of how all these ships ended up there is fascinating. What's interesting is that the Arthur Kill is a tidal strait separating Staten Island from New Jersey, and starting in the 1930s it became a dumping ground for decommissioned ships. Old ferries, tugboats, barges, and retired vessels would be towed to the Arthur Kill and just left there to decay. By the 1990s, there were over 400 abandoned ships slowly sinking into the mud. Here's where it gets complicated. These weren't museum pieces. They were rotting hulks leaking oil and chemicals into the water, creating an environmental disaster. What people don't realize is that in the 2000s, the Coast Guard and EPA finally started removing them, but it took years and millions of dollars. And this is where it shifts. Today, most of the ships are gone, cleaned up, and scrapped, but you can still see a few rusting hulks if you know where to look. The detail that stands out most is this. For decades, Staten Island had this massive ship graveyard that photographers would explore, and that became an accidental landmark, and most New Yorkers had no idea it existed. The Arthur Kill went from industrial dumping ground to environmental cleanup site, and what was once hundreds of ghost ships is now mostly cleared. Have you seen photos of the ship graveyard?